Hey everyone, this is Kirk here again at Option Alpha, and welcome back to this video series on this pure expected value portfolio that we're building out here together. So I'm doing this from my own account, doing the testing for it. Eventually, if this works out, we'll do live trading on it. This is a huge journey that we're going to be on, so this is essentially episode 2 of that journey. And what I wanted to do in this one is build out some more versions and clones of the experimental bot that we're working with here and expand it out to some different stock symbols that we potentially want to trade, just to start to see and test if potentially this EV strategy works better on individual ETFs, or potentially does it work better or the same or no difference on regular stock names. So in the last video, I built out this portfolio and we kind of went through the first season of it here, or the first couple trades and some of the results here for how this thing works. But I only did this on ETFs. And so we can expand this a little bit if we want to. In fact, I do want to expand it to one additional ETF that we didn't capture in there, just so we get a lot of occurrences in here anyway. But I also want to expand this to individual stock names as well, which does mean that we might have to make a couple little changes as we go through this process. So first thing I'm going to do, though, is I am going to add a new bot for XOP, which is an ETF I trade a lot regularly in my live trading account anyway. I didn't include that actually for some reason. I don't know why on this original list. I never included XOP as part of this list for testing. So I'm going to do that now by just simply cloning this bot. And remember that all of these bots are set up currently to have a single bot input for the actual ticker symbol that we're trading. So what I'm going to do is it's really simple to do this to clone a bot now. And what I can do is I can go up here to clone this. I'm just going to name this XOP because I'm naming all the bots the name of the actual ticker symbol that's trading. Give it $3,000 of capital, and then I'm going to swap the ticker symbol here for XOP. So I want to trade this one on XOP only, and then I'm going to hit clone. I can go over to bot settings. You can see that now this bot is built and is ready to go, and so I'm just going to simply turn on the automations. I don't want to make any other changes to it. I just want to add it to this particular set of bots that I'm running for Pure EV. So now if I go back to this list of Pure EV, you can see XOP is in here. It doesn't have any data yet, so it just got turned on. So we can wait for it to have some more data and some more allocation, but it'll start trading and going from there. So the next thing that I want to do, though, is I want to add another set of bots, and I'm just going to quickly spin up a lot of these and just show you how I'm doing this in this video, kind of walk you through the process. But I want to add some for testing regular stock symbols. Now, inside of these bots right now, what we have done for the Find Trade idea is we're not filtering anything for earnings reports because they're all trading on regular ETFs. Now, this is where we can start to now separate out some of the testing that we do. And if we wanted to, we could say expires before the next earnings report, just add that in here to our Pure EV scanner, or we could separate it into a new automation. I think it's probably a little bit too early to add a completely different new automation that just looks at ETFs versus stocks. So for right now, we're going to adjust this automation, which is shared among all the bots right now because I saved it into the library. And we're just going to add this filter here for expires before the next earnings. Now, this is already the case that that's going to ignore that filter essentially because every ETF doesn't have earnings, so it doesn't matter. But anything that we add now that has a regular ticker symbol like Tesla or Apple or whatever that's a regular stock, it will filter out all of the trades to just trades that expire before the earnings report. And I like this because I don't want to interfere with earnings, which could be a really volatile, random event that happens. So I'm going to filter those for earnings, but I don't care about Fed. I don't care about ex-dividend dates right now. Maybe we can do some more filtering on those later. I'm going to keep all my same things in place and then just simply hit save. And then now that it's saved across all the bots. Now again, remember this one's saved in my library, so all the bots are using that same setup. So if I go to GLD, for example, and then open this up and go into trade ideas, it's the same thing. I just made that change and it's saved across all the different bots that we have running this Pure EV strategy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go ahead and clone this bot, and I'm going to change this one, and we're going to do some big names. I don't know how it's going to work. Again, truthfully, I have no clue how it's going to work for all these. I expect that it would work out pretty well, but we're going to just put some new ones in here. So first one I'm going to do is Tesla. I'm going to rename this Tesla Pure EV portfolio still, $3,000 of capital. I'm trying to keep the testing across all my different variations as standardized as possible right now. So I don't want to make tons and tons of changes and do $5,000 for Tesla and $2,000 for this and $500 for that. No, I want to keep it all standard and continue to move this across the board. Now, if I go to this particular bot, this is going to be the first one that I'm running on a pure ET or pure stock that we're trading. So this one's going to be one, maybe it has a different color. So we'll just change this one up here. We'll do like, we'll do orange or something. So it's a regular symbol. And that way I know if we quickly glance at it that it's just a regular stock. Maybe the stocks are going to be orange and the other ones are going to be blue. That works out because they're Bronco colors anyway. Go ahead and turn this one on. So that's a new one that's now running. If I go back to my bot portfolio, you can see that Tesla is a new one in here. We just use some color coordination here just to see which ones are ETFs versus stocks. But that one's now running. But I want to spin up a lot of these. So let me just quickly spin up more of these. I'll do these really quick. Okay, so you can see that I can actually do those pretty quickly here. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've got a bunch of these created, I've only just really quickly done like 3 or 4. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pause, come right back after I create a bunch of these different variations, and we'll see which ones I've included before we wrap up the video. Okay, so through the magic of editing, we are back, and you can see that I've added a ton of different symbols here. These are all regular stocks that we're adding here. So Apple, Capital One, Costco, CrowdStrike, Disney, DocuSign, Dow, Expedia, GE, Google, IBM, JP Morgan, Meta, blah, blah, blah. Just a ton of them. We just added a bunch of them here. You could probably add more to your portfolio if you wanted to, but we wanted to get a pretty good mix of, again, regular ETFs and then also stocks that we could add here. You can see I allocated 3,000 to each of these across the board. They all are running the exact same pure EV scanner experiment that we have right now with just the single change, which is the inputs. They are all set up exactly the same, except the only difference is just the symbol that we're trading here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply turn on all the automations for all of these now that they're all created here. And I can just slowly go through the list here and turn on all of these. And then what they'll do is they'll start looking for and trying to find and enter new positions for this pure EV portfolio. And then what we can do is we can start to investigate some of the results once we get some more data back from all of these. So you can see there's a lot more in here for this pure EV portfolio. It's expanded quite a bit in testing just in these 2 episodes. We started with the regular ETFs, which are going to be mostly my focus to see if those do well. But ultimately, if a lot of these stocks do well, or if the combined portfolio of stocks and ETFs does well as far as stability and less volatility, it's going to be very interesting to see how this moves as we go forward. So I'll come back again in a little bit once we have some more data and some more trades starting to flow through for some of these stocks and ETFs, and start to reevaluate where we're at once we have a lot more occurrences, a lot more trades, and start to see what sort of changes we might need to make to this portfolio to get it working exactly the way that we want, so that we can eventually get to the point of live trading this. Again, this is a really cool experimental journey that I'm on, and I just want to share with you guys because I'm doing this for my personal account and my benefit of doing this. I hope it helps for you as well to go through this. So if you have any questions or any ideas, please let me know in the comments. And as always, until next time, happy trading.